Hello students, this is the ALEKS HELP video for the Take-Home Practice Quiz 2.1 to 2.4. Problem number 1 says, point T is the midpoint of SV. Find the location of S. So if T is the midpoint of SV and we have V here, that means S has to be somewhere over here. And by definition of a midpoint, it means these two segments, S to T and T to V, have to be equal. And right here, if V is at 15, T is at 6, that means the difference between 6 and 15 is 9 units. That means the distance this way must also be 9 units. So if you were to go 9 units to the left, bunny hop that, we're going to be at -3. Says in the figure below, S is between Q and T. So between does not mean middle, but so S is between Q and T, but R is the exact middle of QS. So there's QS. S is between So if R is a midpoint of the green hatch marks, we are told that R to S is 8, and Q to T all the way is 19. It specifically wants us to find ST, but I would get in the habit of just finding everything possible, and you'll probably stumble across the answer. So let's work the hatch marks first. If you trace here, of course, 19, 16, you get the difference of 3. Number 3 says G is G is between E and H. Here's E and H. But F is the midpoint of EG. There's a midpoint there. Hatch marks. F to G is 2. F to H is 6. It wants us to find EH specifically, which is the entire thing. Once again, I don't recommend you look for what you're being asked to look for, but just find everything possible. Let's start with something simple. If this is 2, this is also 2 because of the midpoint. And if I go like this, from here to here is 6. From here to here is 2. So that enables me to find the whole thing, which would be 8. So EH would be 8. Says we want to find the distance between the points C at -3 and 4 and L at 2 and -2. So distance equals left to right left to right. It says an exact answer. That means do not give a decimal version, give just the radical version. Finding the midpoint. Add the x's, divide by 2. Add the y's, divide by 2. What's really nice is when you graph this, it actually looks like the midpoint. So -2 be about right here, +2. And ta-da, it is the midpoint. We have here a segment, AB, and M is a midpoint. That means those are equal. Let me get these coordinates here a little bit bigger. There's a couple ways to do this. There's what I call a logic way and an algebraic way. The algebraic way would look like this. Remember, we were told that this is the midpoint. So something equals 1 and something equals 2. Okay? It is the midpoint, which means after the equation. So what we're being asked is this. -2 plus what number divided by 2 is 1? That would be the equation for those of you who like algebra. -2 plus an unknown number divided by 2 would give you 1. Algebraically, it would look like this for the other one. -2 plus what number divided by 2 would give you 2. And then you would solve. And you simply pop that over 1 and you would cross multiply. There's the algebraic way. Logic. If this is a midpoint, there's equal distance between -2 and +1. Equal distance. From -2 to +1, there would be 3 bunny hops on a number line. So from +1 to x, there must also be 3 bunny hops. So 1 plus 3, that would put us at 4. -2 to +2 would be 4 units. So going this way, 4 units as well. 2 plus 4. That would put this at 6. Now, let's graph 4, 6. If that's 1, 4, 6. Another way to look at this is the slopes would have to be the same. So here's how you can check it. Your rise going from 2 to -2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. and your run. One, 2, 3. So you could go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You kept the same rise and run. That's how you can check it afterwards. Find the slope passing through the points. This is a y minus y over x minus x. So physically connect y to y, x to x. Double negative makes a positive. Both of these are divisible by 3. Always reduce if possible. Says the equation of the line below is negative 12. Minus 3y equals negative 9, and you want to find the slope in the y-intercept, which means we want to go like this. Change it to y equals mx plus b. So I have negative 12x minus 3y equals negative 9. So right here, y equals negative 4/3 x plus 3. That means my slope would be negative 4/3, and my y-intercept would be positive 3. We're going to graph the line, and it is in point-slope form. Point-slope form. So first off, y minus y1, slope x minus x1. We want to find our x1, our y1, our x1, and our slope. So first off, the slope is equal to negative 1/5. That's easy. Now, coming to the coordinates, x1, y1. Our x1, notice, it's got to be positive 2 there, because if we stick in a negative 2, it would have changed the signs, and it didn't. So it's positive 2. Here, the signs did change, so that had to be negative 3. So to graph this, you start at 2, negative 3. Then you count your slope, and it's a negative tilting slope. So up 1 over 5, down 1 over 5, and there's that line. That is called point-slope form. We have a line passing through this point with this slope. And we want the equation in standard form. There's a couple ways to do this. I'll show you both. That's x1, y1, slope. Excuse me, the slope, not the b. So one way would be to put it into point-slope form. So the 1 goes there, 6 goes there, and the slope goes there. You distribute, and I'm going to do 5 over 2 times 6 over here. 2 goes into 6 3 times, so that's going to turn into 15. So I have y minus 1 equals 5 over 2x minus 15. I add one to both sides, and I get y equals 5 over 2x minus 14. Now that allows us to graph it, but it doesn't want the graph. It wants the standard form, so it wants the x back on the other side. So we're going to minus 5 halves x minus 5 halves x. So standard form is going to be negative 5 halves x plus y equals negative 14. That is standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c.